addition to the weekly printed version of the newsletter journal, we also promote our community and share important information on our award-winning website, newslj.com, and in our weekly email newsletter, Nuke Now. We also connect with readers through various social media platforms and invite you to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can even take a look at a recent meeting of the City Council, School Board, or County Commission on our YouTube channel. We do hope that you will go to newslj.com and subscribe today, and we look forward to making all of our great content available to you. But regardless of your level of support, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for doing your part to preserve a free and independent local press.
No, okay.
Yeah, I heard all that too. This one.
Yeah.
Just sit down and distract that truck. Don't care about bringing your kids. Gotta for them, if something happens. Or if they do something, somebody else is involved. All you're gonna have to do.
Really? You say that.
Calling the regular council meeting of Monday, June 17, 2024 to order. Lord, I pray for this council meeting tonight. Give the council members wisdom and guidance as they deliberate on the items before them. May every decision be righteous in your sight for our benefit and for your glory. We thank you for our city. Thank you for our elected officials, the businesses, the churches, the families, and the individuals that make our city the great place that it is. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. We'll let Mr. Moss get to his seat.
Thank you. I'm moving a little slower than normal, but that's okay. We'll get there. Thank you.
May I get approval of the agenda?
Madam Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Can we get a motion of approval of the minutes of the regular meeting and executive session of Monday, June 3rd, 2024?
Madam Mayor, I move that we approve the minutes.
Second. We have a motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Citizens business verbal. I don't see Mrs. Smith here in regards to the all-school reunion unless someone's here on her behalf. If she comes in, we may go back to that. Citizens business in writing, Bruce Perkins Tavern, 24-hour catering permit. Okay, 24-hour catering permit that under and by virtue of provisions of section 12-4-502 subsection B of the state of Wyoming alcohol beverage control laws, the city of Newcastle, county of Weston, state of Wyoming, in consideration of the sum of $20 paid by Bruce Perkins, doing business as Bruce Perkins, or Perkins Tavern, of the city of Newcastle, county of Weston, hereby license, permit, and authorize said Bruce Perkins, doing business as Perkins Tavern, to sell alcohol beverages in and upon the premises of the First Northern Bank parking lot next to me, for an event more specifically described as follows: First Northern Bank Customer Appreciation Day. This license for catering permit is for the term of 1 day only, beginning on the 12th day of July at 8:00 a.m. through the 13th day of July 2024 at 8:00 a.m.
Your Honor, I move that we accept and approve Bruce Perkins's application for a catering permit on July 12th, I believe it is.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Any further discussion?
What was the start time on that?
It is 8 a.m. on the 12th to 8 a.m. on the 13th.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 2 on citizens' business in writing, Volunteers of America, sewer averaging. We have dear council members, we are requesting a reduction of our sewer bill for the summer months due to increased water usage for watering the lawns surrounding our office building. The sewer charge has also increased. Thank you for your consideration. Respectfully, Brenda Robbins, office manager. And this is at their new building, correct?
Which one?
Their new building?
I believe so, yes.
Do we have a motion?
I move that we grant sewer forgiveness for Volunteers of America.
It is sewer averaging.
Sewer, okay, I amend my motion to grant sewer averaging for the summer months for Volunteers of America.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Is this their new building and it hasn't been in operation during the winter months? So they just want some averaging because they don't have winter months to fall back on.
Or, yeah, and to get for the grass, like a lot of the commercial businesses don't get sewer averaging, but they're trying to get their grass going and stuff.
I am too. Just saying.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Citizens' business in writing, number 3 will be read by Ann McCall.
24-hour catering permit. That under and by virtue of the provisions of section 12-4-502 subsection B of the state of Wyoming alcoholic beverage control laws, the city of Newcastle, county of Weston, state of Wyoming, in consideration of the sum of $20 paid by Pam Gualtieri, Newcastle, Wyoming, county of Weston hereby permits and authorizes the said Pam Gualtieri to sell malt beverages only in and upon the premise of the Weston County Event Center. For the Christensen wedding, this license for catering permit is for the term of 1 day only, beginning at 8 a.m. June 29th, 2024 to 8 a.m. June 30th, 2024.
I move that we approve the 24-hour catering permit for Pam Gualtieri, starting at 8 a.m. on the 29th and ending at 8 a.m. on the 30th.
Second.
We have a motion properly
We have a
seconded.
motion. I was in that way.
Yeah.
I have to go through the whole thing. We have a motion and seconded. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you. Moving on to old business. Third reading of ordinance number 2, series 2024, Black Hills Energy franchise agreement. Ordinance number 2, series 2024, an ordinance granting a non-exclusive franchise from the city of Newcastle, Weston County, Wyoming to Black Hills Power, Inc., doing business as Black Hills Energy, a South Dakota corporation, doing business in the state of Wyoming, its successors and assigns to operate an electric utility system within the city of Newcastle, Wyoming, for providing electric services to the city of Newcastle and the inhabitants therefore, and establishing the terms and conditions of said franchise, including the effective date thereof.
Your Honor, I move that we approve the third reading of the ordinance as it stands.
I second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Third reading passed. Passed and approved and adopted the third reading this day of Monday.
Thanks for coming to all the readings.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it's good to see your smiling face.
It's a nice drive.
It's a beautiful drive.
Yeah.
I hope it's not hailing that way.
The new store. This is the one-stop shop. We have a pharmacy. We have a bootlegger's liquor. The deli, the food that you can get at a lunchtime is so amazing. The coffee shop. Certain Friday mornings, there's 30 people sitting here in all these chairs. This is the hub for people to come and visit, have their coffee, have their donuts. It's amazing what this area has done. Totally amazing.
I just said I hope any new business.
Yeah, I hope so too.
New business?
Any community or committee reports? Moving on to department head reports, city clerk treasurer Stacy Haggerty.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The only thing I have to report is that we received our Wyoming Community Gas 2023 contribution, which was the amount of $5,743.66, which we had previously designated that money to go to Bellpark Restaurant. That's all I have.
Any questions from the city clerk?
Do you know how they arrive at that number?
I believe it's percentage.
Public Works Supervisor Greg Stone.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. First item, we finished the interviews and such for the foreman position. And I would recommend the council, request the council to appoint Justin King as the foreman for the Public Works Department. Wage of $27 per hour starting July 1st with 1 year probation.
I move that we appoint Justin King to the foreman's position at the city shop, starting at $27 in pay and on July 1st. With 1 year probation.
That's still the same. That's still the same.
Yep.
So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I just had one question. How long has this, Justin been with us here at the city?
2018 is when he started.
Okay, thank you.
I used to work with Justin at the shop, and I think that he's a great candidate for the position.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
Thank you very much. That's greatly appreciated. Take a load off of me. As you may know, or as in the past, we did a resolution to put in for an emergency funds. mineral royalty grant funds for the 2025 improvements project. The State Lands and Investment Board meeting is this week on Thursday. So myself and Superintendent Lindstrom from Upton are going to go down and visit with the SLID board members and hopefully get our money come Thursday. So we're recommended for the full $1 million we requested. So $1 million out of a $2.1 million project. We started.
Send a text to us all.
I will.
Until
It'll be after 12 o'clock, meeting goes from 8 to 12. So. We've started the dirt work on First Avenue to prepare for the asphalt project. That has to be done by July 1st. As of today, we got half the dirt out and started back in with the geogrid and J-grease. The Duff Avenue Sewer Project, we opened that for bid. The pre-bid is the 19th, June 19th. The bid opening will be July 2nd. We will have a recommendation by the July 15th council meeting as to who to award the project to. Third thing, the rate analysis. We got you the final draft of the rate analysis from Mr. Brown. One thing to keep in mind when you're reading through this, he references the year, how's that stated? The test year, I believe is what it stated.
Test year was,
It was the year prior to us raising the rates the last time. So it was based on the $13.30 per month, the decreasing usage, stuff like that. So it wasn't based on this last year, it was based on the year prior because he wanted a full fiscal year's financials in order to come up with that. So it's not based on our current rates. It's based on the rates that we had before these current rates. So we figured we'd get it to the council to review. However you want to proceed from there is there's several different options. So I might recommend a workshop to kind of mull some of this over, answer some of the questions that we can, and see how to proceed from there if the council wishes.
Somebody's gonna have to tell me what this said.
I spent the better part of a week going through it.
I don't count on me reading
So
this, I'm just saying.
It is very lengthy. Yes, there's a lot of data. You've got a lot of effort into it.
So I think that's what we're probably gonna need is,
Yeah.
we need to explain it.
And I think the best thing to do would probably be in a workshop.
Yeah.
The Veterans Memorial Committee has came to the city with their proposed Veterans Memorial. I think it would be best to visit with the Parks Committee about this. It's a worthwhile project, very good. But I would like the council to know, or the committee to know what's going on, and so we can support it properly. If it's all right, I'll email the committee with some dates. We go from there. Also, the Water Sewer Committee, I've got some stuff to bring up within the ordinance changes to Chapter 26 that I'd like to visit with the committee about. It's a pleasure of the council. I'll also email some dates about that. The the bench sprockets have gotten hold of me and requested what the status of the MOU was for the bike track on the park.
Well, I've emailed that to Jeremy and to you. It was kind of a tentative thing, but I had asked basically just to see what changes that he wanted, and I didn't get any response. So
He thought everything looked great when I talked to him. He said it would be fine. He'd feel comfortable moving forward with it. So.
council's attention next meeting.
My last item, due to the scaling back of the paving project we budgeted for this fiscal year, we have some leftover money in the street budget. We've been looking at the crack seal machines for quite some time. We've worked with them now twice. They work great. It's very effective, I think, to try and seal up the streets and hopefully keep some water up from underneath them. The used machine that we rented this year, they're willing to sell it to us for half price of the new one. They offered to sell it to us for $41,735.
And exactly what will this machine do for you?
It'll seal the cracks in all the roads. We went through 3 pallets of material, about $6,000 worth of material. South Summit, Delaware, Forest Hill Way, some of the other streets. We go through and we seal the cracks before we do a chip seal. Otherwise, during a chip seal, if you don't seal the cracks first with the elastomeric type sealant, that crack seal will go ahead and pull open and you can get water through your crack seal, through your chip seal. This effectively stops the water from getting through the cracks. We rented it last year. We only bought 1 pallet of material to see how it worked. Worked really good. This year, we bought 3 pallets. With the rental fees that we're paying for this right now, it would take about 5 years to pay the machine off, just in the rental fees.
Do you know that an average maintenance on something like this, we would pay $41,000 for it, but what's the yearly?
Very little, mainly oil changes for the first 20 years. Very little, mainly oil changes for the first 20 years. It's not a machine that we're going to put 10,000 hours on in 10 years.
Not like a garbage truck.
No. Typically, you want to do your crack sealing in the cooler times of the year. We really wanted it with this year, we really wanted it in March. With that warmer weather, it would have been perfect to crack seal. The reason you want to do it in the colder time of the year, those cracks are as wide as they're going to get. The more elastomeric seal we get inside of that, as the road heats up during the summer, those cracks close up. So if we put it in there when it's warm, there's less crack. When we put it in as wide as it'll go, as it expands and contracts, that elastomeric seal will maintain its seal for 3 to 5 years.
I wanted to tell you that I witnessed some of these cracks getting sealed this year, and I say that crew has done it the best I've ever seen.
They're really good at it.
You've got some good people working on it this year.
No, they're a good dedicated crew. But I guess I would request the council allow me to purchase this machine. And rental units, sometimes you get a good one, sometimes you don't. This way we know what we have and we maintain it ourselves.
Your Honor, I move that we step forward in this project and buy him a, what'd you call it?
Crack seal machine?
Crack seal machine.
It's like
$41,735.
Yep.
$735.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I have one more question.
I do too. Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Is this the machine you have been, that you've actually been using? So
Yes.
you know about it, okay.
Yes.
Okay, you mentioned you had some extra money from streets last year.
Yeah.
How much extra money? Did it cover $41,700? Okay.
It'll more than cover the 41,000.
All right, thank you.
We're not planning on going over.
I didn't want to be stepping on my own feet here.
No,
Are they gonna throw a warranty in on that, or?
no, it's a used machine. So, I don't remember what year that machine is. It has about 1,600 hours on it. Looking at other machines similar to it, around 1,600 hours, they're still getting between 45 and 50,000 for this Simline C2 or M2 crack seal machine is what it is.
I can see that.
I think anything preventative maintenance wise that we can do for our existing streets is a positive thing.
Right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
Thank you, council. That's all I have unless you have questions about the reports.
Any questions?
How's 7th Avenue going?
It's going good. They did the pressure tested Friday. It tested fine. They drew their first bacteriological sample today. They'll draw the second one tomorrow. We require 2 samples to be taken 24 hours apart. So they'll take the second one tomorrow. Hopefully by the end of this week, they will have their tying services right now. So they should have the water and sewer, the sewer's already tied in. The water they should have tied in and have the lower half on the new main.
So are they
This week.
pretty much on track?
They said they're about 4 to 5 days behind. There were some issues on the lower end we had to deal with, had change order to do on it. But for the most part, they're right in there. They'll once they turn the bottom end on, get everybody tied, finish tying everybody in, they'll move the temporary line to the north half and begin working on that.
The dog waste stations,
Yes.
is there any further movement on that? It said that you got locates and everything, but
We've got to build a traffic plan first, but all of our shoulder work ahead signs were stolen last year. So the highway, I either have to rent the signs or purchase new ones before we can do that. Traffic plan requires shoulder work ahead on the highway, even though we're working a ways off the highway. But
For you to put in a dog waste station?
I'm just doing what Whiteout's telling me to. So we did order the signs, we told them to rush them. Hopefully they'll be here in the next couple of weeks. Once we get those up, we can get an approved traffic control plan, and begin working on it.
and then was there any further discussion on the on-site versus gas chlorine?
Not yet.
Chlorination?
I've looked into some stuff, talked to a few people about it. Not the gentleman from up Buffalo, I had yet to call him, I lost his number for a while and just found it. It's kind of back and forth. I mean, I really haven't decided how to go yet, or what recommendation I have. So, we're still looking into it. I'm looking at a couple different manufacturers, getting their O&Ms for them, so we can kind of see what after the fact for each unit, for each type of chlorination.
Thank you.
Any other questions for City Police Supervisor? All right. Police Chief Eric Thompson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Calls for service, Newcastle PD 194, Weston County Sheriff's Office 88, Upton PD 19, Newcastle Volunteer Fire Department 6, Weston County Fire Protection District 9, Upton Volunteer Fire Department 2, Newcastle Ambulance 24, and Upton Ambulance 7. The next thing I have is I thought we were supposed to address this during the committee reports, but we did have a police committee meeting about the administrative assistant child advocacy position that I had advertised. I requested that we modify that position to remove the child advocacy portion of it. There was raised some concern about going through a Dalbert hearing, which is the hearing that you have to undergo to be qualified as an expert witness. And in cases involving children, expert witnesses are generally almost always required. And the attorney's office was more in support of going back to doing business the way we had in the past and farming those out to a third party who is neutral and detached from the police department, and their experts have already been qualified, and they do it on a regular basis. So that would also come with a salary change of $17 an hour in lieu of the 20 to 25 salary range that we had put out there for the position. So what I want to do is if the council approves to re-advertise that position, to make sure we don't exclude any candidates that may have applied but didn't have the credentials for the forensic interviewing portion of that. So if it pleases the council, I would request authorization to apply for just an administrative position, assistant position at $17 an hour starting.
Is that with the personnel committee?
Oh yeah, it's the personnel committee, not the police committee. I apologize. Personnel committee.
Do we have a motion? Do we have to make a motion? I move that we redo the qualifications for well, it's administrative assistant and not forensics. Take that out.
Second.
Starting at 17 an hour.
Starting at 17 an
I second that.
hour. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
The only other thing I have is I would like to have another police committee meeting at some point in reference to ordinance enforcement. We have to go back to the drawing board on that a little bit, I think, and see what we can do differently to be more effective in that department. So if you guys have a time that would work for you to meet this week or next or whatever, I would appreciate it.
I do believe Councilman Stevenson's out of town until Thursday.
Okay.
Right. He's shaking his head yes.
Maybe next week sometime we can arrange something. And other than that, that's all I have.
Any questions for City Attorney Dalton?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have nothing to report.
Any questions for City Attorney? Claims against the city dated June 17th, 2024.
Madam Mayor, I move that we pay the claims against the city dated June 17th, 2024.
Yes. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Do I have a motion to leave the regular session to enter into executive session regarding the Wyoming statute 16-4-405 AWI personnel?
I move that we move into executive session. Athletic personnel.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign.
Thank you for coming, Walter.
Going into executive session at 7:32.
When governments pay us to get the word out, governments pay us, but we actually work for the public. And so it's a tough spot we're in because we have to piss off our own clients, basically. The people who sign the checks we get in fights with because we're fighting for the public. And I don't know. All I can do is say that we just got to keep doing what we do and hope that governments, especially in election year, governments need to trust the professionals, and we are the professionals in Weston County, to get their message out.
Exactly. I can't think of anybody else that does a better job. We put a lot of time and effort into getting all of the product out there and making sure that we reach people in as many avenues as possible. I don't think people understand how much time and effort that we put into those things. And it's most definitely more time and effort than we get compensated for.